Can you save £1,000 over the course of a year? We've focused on a different area of spending every week this week. On Tuesday, if you remember, it was energy bills. Wednesday, it was broadband phones, TV subscriptions. And yesterday, it was home and car insurance policies. And today, we're joined by Emma Franklin from Good Housekeeping to help you save £250 on your food shopping with just a few simple, savvy steps. So, Emma, we always ask our experts the same question. Can this be done?
Yes,
You're confident?
Can. I'm confident.
Because I promised people we're going to save them £1,000, and today we have to hit that.
Yeah, absolutely. We can do it. It's not easy because food is such a huge expenditure in people's lives, but with a few little savvy tips and a bit of planning, we can do it, definitely.
Okay, because it's one of the big expenses. I mean, average weekly food costs for a family of £440.
£140, absolutely. That's over £7,000 a year.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money to be going to food.
It's a significant portion of people's income.
Okay, so where are we going to start? Identifying cheaper supermarkets, I guess.
Cheaper supermarkets, yes, absolutely. So the cost of the average shopping basket in supermarkets is something that's monitored constantly. And if you're cost conscious, it's something you should be keeping on top of on a regular basis. It's regularly in the news. So keep your ear out. These numbers change all the time.
Okay.
At the moment, we've got the information on the top 4 cheapest supermarkets. So these are the best places to get sort of based on an average basket of about 47 items. So we've got Tesco at £87.42 for these items.
These are branded or these are own brand?
These are all based on the same brands.
Okay, so it's all branded
across
products.
the supermarkets.
So this is the same products across the supermarkets. Tesco's coming up the most expensive.
At the most expensive, but that's the most expensive of the 4 cheapest. That's important to remember. Then Asda, we've got Lidl in second place at the moment and Aldi at the top. Now, Lidl and Aldi swap places all the time. It's no surprise that the budget supermarkets, they've made a name for it. So they're always swapping and they're always very close in price. Tesco and Asda move around more. And interestingly enough, Sainsbury's don't discount them. Shortly before these figures were out in November, Sainsbury's was in the top 3. So it does get in there. The one that obviously doesn't ever make it in the top 4 cheap. Waitrose. I love an essential avocado as much as the next person, but that is a place to go for your special items, same as M&S.
And in fact, the same basket at Waitrose costs £97.39.
It does. That's 27% more than Aldi.
We should also say, of course, I mean, I don't shop at Waitrose, but you know, they probably pay their suppliers better. You know, it isn't just profit. They might actually have nicer quality. Marks and Spencer fruit and veg is delicious.
No, they source from the same place.
It's a complicated matter, but if your bottom line is what you're focusing on, these are the ones to focus on.
And I'm at Aldi.
Okay, so identifying the supermarket that you shop at as the cheapest ones is a first place to start. As you heard there, Lidl and Aldi being the 2 cheapest ones usually. Right, what's your first tip, though, in actually reducing those bills big time?
So my first tip, and I really think it's the most important one, because where you shop, it's nice to say that you're going to go where the cheapest is out of these shopping bags, but we realistically know you're going to go with the ones that are near you. Not everyone's got a Lidl nearby. Not everyone's got a Sainsbury's or a Tesco. You're going to go with the brands that have got more shops near you. But the thing to do is the specific store size.
Right.
This makes an incredible difference. So you need to be doing your big shops, your main shops, when you're stocking up in the big stores, the superstores. Prices there are significantly different. We found that Tesco main stores versus Express. So that's their small stores. And it's not just Tesco. This is across the
Sainsbury's
Metros,
local,
the Littles, the locals, all of these. 10% difference in price between a Tesco main store and a Tesco Express. Across a week, that's £15.73. A year, that's £817.91. That is a colossal saving just by moving your main shops to the big store versus the little one.
That requires a car.
No,
it doesn't, because all of them have bus stops. Every big store has a bus stop. I challenge
to get a
anyone
wheelie thing with all your shopping up the step onto a bus. It's quite hard work.
I agree that it's a challenge, but the cost difference really makes it worthwhile.
So can I just ask then, for those people who've, like, for example, been paid just before Christmas, you've got like a 6-week window before your next pay.
Yeah.
Are there any tips to kind of like maximise that sort of last 2 weeks where it gets a bit hairy.
Absolutely. I mean, those 6 weeks, that is a big gap between paychecks. And there is only one way to get through that without really feeling the pinch, and that is planning. I know it's boring. It's not a sexy answer, but working it all out, getting a meal plan together, working out what you're going to eat. And then the first thing you can do, once you've written that down, is take off 10, 20, 50% of the meat on it. Meat is so expensive. It will make a colossal difference to your meal plan if you can take some of that meat out, particularly things like chicken breasts, pork chops, pork loin fillets. These are so expensive. And if you can just reduce the amount, replace
it with what, though? I've got teenagers.
So this is why I think reducing rather than trying to cut it out, because if you've got a family of carnivores, and I'm one of them, they're not going to want to just go vegetarian for January. And anyway, meat substitutes are not cheap.
Chickpeas and beans.
Chickpeas, pulses, beans, cheese. A giant block of cheddar is considerably cheaper than an equivalent weight of meat. And a little bit of cheese goes a really long way.
Okay.
If you grate it, it goes all the way.
All right, so location, avoiding those smaller stores, your local stores, is going to make a big difference. I remember asking supermarkets, why are you charging so much more? They'll come back to you by saying, well, actually, the rents that we pay are higher because we want to get into neighbourhoods. The costs of getting the products in those central busy areas become more costly, and that's how they can justify the same exact product in the local or metro costing about 10% more than if you go to the big superstore. Okay, so location is one. What's your next tip?
Technology. Make technology work for you.
What does that mean?
So there's a couple of things. One, almost all of us carry a supercomputer around in our pockets every day. It is a mobile phone. Mobile phones today are more sophisticated than the first computer that flew to space. These things need to be working for us. All supermarkets have some form of loyalty or rewards app. These are brilliant. Loyalty schemes are great, but don't be loyal to them. Sign up to all of them, whether it's a card or an app. You can have it on your phone. You don't have to have a bulky wallet full of loyalty cards anymore. It can just go on your phone's wallet app or have a standalone app. Recent data from Money Saving Expert suggests the Sainsbury's Smart Save app, Smart Shop app, can save up to 30% on your regular items in store. That's a really big difference. But be savvy about it. Don't use reward schemes to tempt you into buying things you wouldn't be buying anyway. Buy the things you'd buy normally, but at the reduced price when it's available. So that's a great one. And then online shopping.
And that's just hitting the £100 if you cut the technology in there into your shop. 110 changing location, which we love. Because that brings us to about £210, closer to my 250. You were going to say one more?
Yeah, online shopping. It's really tempting. It's really convenient. I do it myself. Be aware it's got a higher cost attached. Not just the delivery fee. The costs of your items tend to be higher online. Online. But there is something that can make it work for you. So when you have to do it, when you just can't get to the shop and you need to do that online, when you're searching for your items, be it chopped tomatoes or shampoo, there's a little function on the right-hand side of every screen, once you've searched, to sort by the price per unit. So this will be per item, per kilo, or per litre, whichever's most relevant for the item you're buying. Sort by that, then filter it by lowest to highest. You will see the cheapest price available for that item.
That's a very good tip, because I think most people just sort of scroll and sort of keep an eye on price.
And it filters based on the most profitable stuff first.
Yes. Well, profitable for you.
Profitable for the company and things that the brands have paid to be promoted at the top of the search function. So you can just bypass all that by searching the price per unit. And that's a piece of information that is also available to you in store. It's just a bit harder to find. By law, it has to be displayed on the shelf edge in supermarkets. Next to the main price, whether it says £1.43 for a tin of beans, the unit price has to be on there as well. So compare it, but it's really easy online.
And we know that supermarkets can be a bit sneaky, because the price difference, you might think, oh, this is less expensive. But then if you look at the price per unit or per 100 grams, you're like, actually, no, I'm getting less for this. That's why I'm paying less. And in France, actually, they've changed the law and they are marking out shrinkflation.
Yes.
So they're products which say this may be cheaper, but you're getting a lot less in it by buying it, because actually they've reduced the amount that you're getting in the same packaging.
I've got a very good question, which is, I buy yellow sticker, and I get them home, and I often put them in the freezer.
Yes.
But then my kids say, because then of course they say, well, that went off its date stamping, blah blah. And but if it's on a yellow sticker, do you still get 3 months out of the freezer on it? I would say you do. I'm always guessing.
You sound like Reggie Benson.
Now that is a tricky one, and I'd quite like to have a food scientist here with me. I would say no.
Not 3 months.
Not least because the yellow sticker stuff tends to all be shoved just in the bottom of one fridge aisle. It's not in its optimum chilled storage, so it's in the warmest.
But I take the view, if you haven't died yet. I mean, I cut the green bit off the cheese.
Larry says she hasn't died yet.
I'm with you on that one.
Fine. I think a little bit more caution. I think we should advertise more caution there.
Yes.
Look, let's hear your final tip here.
My final tip, and this is one I'm guilty of not following, and it always ends in tears. Full of belly, full of wallet. Do not go shopping when you are hungry. I can't express how important it is not to do it. You are far more likely to make poor decisions, impulse decisions, rash decisions. And if there are two of you who are hungry, it's even worse. You will egg each other on. You will have someone to go, yeah, why not? Don't do it. Wherever possible, shop alone, shop full, and shop with a list. The difference, we estimate, is potentially saving £55 across 5 shops by not making impulse purchases. And while we're on the subject of yellow stickers, stop it. The yellow stickers, it's such a bad idea.
It's the only excitement I get in my life.
I know.
And if it's
got the yellow stickers
just
out.
and you're wanting a ready meal and you know you're going to buy one anyway,
buy the stuff I like.
Go for it. But you're saving pennies and it's on stuff that's end of life.
Yes.
And if you wait till the end, I've got a tip where you can get it for free.
There we go. Look, let's tally up now how much we've saved. I'm very excited about this. We saved £110 by changing location, £100 by using technology. We've got a fuller belly and a fuller wallet. That's £55 you're going to save there, bringing the grand total to £265. Thank you very much. That means we hit our grand total. Now, you've also got a final tip for us, which is really interesting.
Yeah, I've got a final tip. There are a couple of different businesses out there who are tackling the subject of food waste and doing it in a way that makes it affordable and helpful for the everyday person. So these are two businesses. They both have apps. The apps are free to download on your phone. They're called Olio. That's O-L-I-O. No, I didn't think it was pronounced that way either, but they promise me it is. And Too Good To Go. And these redistribute food waste from businesses like the supermarkets, but also restaurants and cafes. And they redistribute it either at a very discounted price, in the case of Too Good To Go, where you can buy bonus bags of surprise shopping bags from a third to about 50% off the normal price. And I checked last night, there were still amazing bags to be had at 10 o'clock at night. You could get locally.
You go and pick them up.
You buy it and you go and pick them up. And then Olio takes the waste and redistributes it for free. So it's surplus food, it's still in date, it's still 100% safe. It redistributes it through volunteers. Just download both apps, see who's active in your area. They're both all over the country. They're both global.
And what kind of things are you getting in those bags?
So
give us an idea.
We've got an example. This is an M&S bag from today.
Yeah.
And in here...
And from which? Is that Olio or is that Too Good To Go?
This is Too Good To Go. Okay. So this is the app where you purchase and you get a mystery bag, and it's always a mixed bag, and it's at the retailer's discretion, but they are full of some really amazing stuff. So in here we have, this is your yellow sticker aisle heaven. We have a lovely stone-baked pizza.
Yeah.
And we have mushroom cooking sauce, so that's great for going on the steak that you're not meant to be having, and your chicken, and a spinach and pasta salad for your lunch tomorrow, and some slow-roasted tomatoes. So,
and how much would that cost then?
So if you bought that from M&S in-store, that would be £16.60.
Nice.
Wow.
And the Too Good To Go price for that is £4.99. Wow. So that is an incredible difference in price.
So it's quite exciting. It is quite exciting, but you are guessing.
Absolutely.
How exciting you
I love the idea.
Too good to go involves all the joy of a mystery basket, and then you have something new to try for dinner. Olio, it's individual items. You pick what you want. But
Wouldn't quite be quite so
Great.
exciting as there would it. It's the fact it's Marks and Spencer that's quite exciting.
And also, what I like about these apps, you're helping prevent waste.
Yes.
as
You
well.
are. Food waste is a massive
Food waste,
problem.
which is, again, we should say that, you know, a lot of people like to buy in bulk, which again saves you money, but we throw away, I think it's £800 worth of food a year.
edible
Food a year. So we need to be careful. Look, I know that a lot of you get in touch after the show, say, I didn't get a chance to write everything down and kind of get all these tips. Don't worry, because everything that you heard there is going to be uploaded on our YouTube channel. So a little bit after the show finishes, check again, Jeremy Vine on 5 on YouTube. You'll be able to watch all 4 segments from this week, trying to save money on your bills. Now, let's look at some of your social media message. Dave on Facebook says, buy less and don't waste food. It's very simple. It sounds simple, but sometimes sort of life gets in the way, and that's where food waste comes in, which is a shame. But Alan on Twitter says, buy seasonal. It's not rocket science. Also, look out for those local honesty boxes in villages. Some are pay what you can afford. That's a very good tip, actually.
Yeah, it's a great tip if you've got it available to you. Absolutely.
If you're a little bit outside of the big cities. Albert on Facebook says, my tip is if something seems expensive, then don't buy it. Show the supermarket that you aren't willing to pay the high prices. And Valerie on Twitter says, hi, Alexis, I've joined a local pantry. You pay and get up to £20 worth of food and other items. That's a sort of interesting sort of co-ops, genuine co-ops.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a bit of an emergence of this sort of thing. Local communities coming together, neighbourhoods working together. Community fridges are another thing that are starting to pop up sort of outside of the big cities. I think they're great. Join your local community groups on Facebook or whatever social media app you use. Find out, ask your neighbours what's in the area.
Okay. All right. Well, look, our mission was to save you £1,000 in a year off your bill. So let's look over the week and add up our total savings to see if we made it. So let's see what we've got here. We've got our energy bills that were £271 we saved there on your energy bills on Wednesday. There it is, £271. We started off, that was on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we looked at your phone, your broadband, the TV subscriptions, and we did really well there, £301. Then after that, we looked at your insurance costs. Sue Hayward saved us £259, both on our home and car insurance. And today, Emma helped us reach that total. Our food bills, £265. Now that is a grand total of savings over the year of £1,096, which I have here, £1,096. Imagine being able to put that all back into your bank account. Wouldn't that be nice? So if you followed, no, you can't. I've been told not to let go of this money because it's actually real money. So if you followed all our experts' advice, then you could actually bank all this. Now, don't worry, if you missed any of this, as I said, log on to our YouTube channel, search for Jeremy Vine on 5, where they'll all be uploaded there. You can go back and go through them and be able to save all that money off your yearly bills.